Hello and welcome. I'm Shayna with Ink and Star Stuff. Today I'm going to be doing some ink swatching. I am a huge fan of fountain pens and different fountain pen inks, and these two beauties just arrived. These are from the Ferris Wheel Press FerriTale line of 2023. This first one is Poison Envy. Poison Envy came out about a month ago and it very quickly sold out. I am not surprised. It is a gorgeous color. So when it became available again, I quickly added it to my cart and it has arrived. The other one I got is the Ribbiting Pond. This one was also just released October 6th, and I very much am looking forward to what both of these inks look like on the different papers I use. So I have prepped today some Hobonichi notebooks. These are supplemental notebooks from Hobonichi in the A5 size, the cousin size. And I got these because I will be exclusively using Hobonichi journals this year coming up. And I wanted to have some paper to help me kind of see what the different inks look like and behave like on these papers. This A5 supplemental notebook comes with, I think, 24 pages. It has the same grid style as you find in the cousin notebook. So I think this will be perfect for sliding into my cover and carrying it with me so I can quickly reference the different inks I have on hand and which new inks I want to load into my pens. The other paper I'm going to be testing on today is the Life Bank paper. This paper is my favorite paper to use for writing letters to friends, and it is so fascinating to see how inks behave on different papers. So I have some of this set to the side. And here is my my A5 cousin that I have this year. This is the Luffy design, Luffy one-piece design. And so these little notebooks, one of these is going to slide right in here so I can have a quick reference to the different inks I already have loaded in my pens and which inks I want to use for my entries. All right, so let's take a look at these bottles. This here is the Poison Envy, and I love Ferris Wheel Press's packaging. They put so much detail into their design, and there's so much like little kind of Easter eggs in there. Like this one has a mirror and it looks like it's cracked. It's hard to see with the foiling on the box, but it's such an interesting, beautiful, kind of eerie design. And on the sides, that is so cool. They are stained glass apples, and it looks like there's even a design in the stained glass. Hold that up a little closer. It looks like the silhouette of a woman's profile and possibly another profile on the other side. I'd have to take some time and really examine this to know exactly what that is. So let's see, what does it say? So this on the side, the base of this ink is purple, which is one of my very favorite colors of ink. The sheen is yellow. The shimmer is green and pink. And there is no shading. So this one has, from what images I've seen online so far, I have not seen it in person. It has this really gorgeous shimmer with that green and pink on the purple. And then on the back, let's read what this says. FerriTales collection. Ferris Wheel Press fountain pen inks are water-based, evenly toned, rich, and saturated. To experience the full magic of the FerriTales collection, pair the ink with medium to broad nibs or dip pens. Use for your next artistic epiphany. And what I love too is they have on one side of the box kind of like a little mini story. Now this one is based on the fairy tale of Snow White. And on the side it says, "Dare to take a bite? Poison hidden beneath a sweet exterior strikes to the core. Don't be fooled by a flawless exterior. Perfection is but a facade, and the pursuit of it will lead to rotten ends. After all, beauty without heart comes at a price, and envy never pays." That is really cool. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. So the bottles for the FerriTale inks themselves are also absolutely charming. They're these little glass globes, circular bottle design, and the caps themselves are metal. So these suckers are kind of heavy. I have dropped one of these caps before and it didn't break because it just kind of plinked its way across my floor. It's very heavy and solid. So let's look at this bottle. So on the front, it says FerriTales Press. And then there's this beautiful star design that wraps all the way around. And 20 milliliters, that's how much ink is in here. All right, let's look at the bottom. Sometimes you can see the shimmer kind of caked on the bottom. I think I've been moving this enough that you can't see it right now, but let's gently shake this to get that shimmer all the way through the bottle here. All right, I'm going to move this notebook to the side. I'm going to swatch in this notebook because I like that it has the same cover color as my cousin. So that'll look really nice inside that cover. Let's open to a fresh page. I usually skip this first page. I like to put a title page and include, the different brands of ink that I have in here or the different pens I use. And I'm going to do the same on this side, leave that blank, and we'll start on this page here. But first, what I should do is set this to the side and get my pen ready. This here is the pen I'll be using for this ink. It seems pretty fitting with the purple and the sparkles in there. This is the Benu Scepter 14, I think, and it has a broad iridium nib. So I think this is going to hopefully pick up that sheen and shimmer beautifully. So let's get this started. Oh, there's the shimmer. I let it sit just for a second and you can see it on the bottom there. Yeah, so this ink, that tends to settle pretty quickly. So it's always a good idea to make sure it's nice and integrated before you fill your pen. All right, so let's get this in here. Nice inky dip pen. Close this for a moment. Let's set it to the side and then wipe off any excess ink so I don't get my fingers completely purpled. All right, that one's ready to go. And to start, let's get my notebook again. Let's get a piece of this bank paper here for my side. And then I forgot to mention these. These are little swatch cards that I put together. They are made out of Bristol board and I used this little Beverly stamp. It's a mini Totoro on an ink bottle, and I have had this for a while and had planned to use them for ink swatch cards. And so here we are with those. I'm going to set those up here for now when I'm ready. All right, put my bank paper there and grab the end of this brush. Again, yeah, that shimmer settled pretty quickly, so let's gently mix that up before I start here. All right. Oh, that is so beautiful. It's so purple. And I can see that it is just a rich ink. Nice and solid, nice and thick. I can see the shimmer in there already. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna close this up so I don't accidentally spill it. That would be terrible. And let's play with the ink here. So I like to do some little designs on the side. See how it works. Oh my goodness. This ink. Oh, wow. Okay. This ink is so beautiful to write with. It is nice and juicy. It just glides, and look how rich that is. I love it. So this is Poison Envy. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Wow. Oh, that is so beautiful. Okay, it's still very wet. So I can already tell this is probably not an ink, at least not in the bold nib, that I will use maybe for when I do a lot of writing, a lot of quick writing, when I'm writing in my, my notebook for story ideas and drafting chapters by hand. This is just a little too wet to do that, but what a gorgeous ink for my letters and for special journal entries where I can just let it sit and dry. But wow, that is beautiful. I can kind of see the green shade, the kind of green tint to this purple. I'm not seeing a lot of the sheen yet, but again, that's still very, very wet. Wow, that is beautiful. I'm very excited about this one. So while that one's drying, I'm going to set it over here, grab my bank paper, and I'm going to, this time I'm going to do a brush rather than the end of my other brush here. Okay. Let's see. Wow. So lovely. There we are. It's interesting. It's a little bit more plummy on the bank paper. And it's still very wet. I can see it just sitting on top of the paper. I'm going to turn this over and see if it bled through the other side. Nope, there's a little bit of ghosting, but no bleed through. That's good to see. Oh, that is gorgeous. And I can really see the sheen on this one. I am not sure if the camera's picking that up. But when I tilt the paper, there's just this green and pink shimmer on the letters there. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit and dry. I'm gonna see if this one bled to the other side. I used the end of the brush rather than the paintbrush itself because I was a little worried about bleed through, but I am going to see if that helped at all. Nope, there's quite a bit of bleed through. Look at that. Even just with my broad nib pen. All right, good to know. This is an ink that wants to go places. And it's still drying on the Tomoe River. All right, let's try it on my little Bristol card. Get my brush here ready. Nice and dried off. Again, shimmers on the bottom. Let's shake that just a bit. Gently to make sure it gets all incorporated. Oh, wow. It is so thick. This ink basically obliterates everything behind it. Look at that. I'm a little outside the lines on that. Hopefully that will show up okay. So And I'm going to shake my pen just gently to make sure that the shimmer didn't sink its way to the bottom of the ink cartridge. All right. There we are. Unsurprisingly, on the Bristol paper, which is made for ink art, the shimmer shows up massively. Let's see if you can see that. Really gorgeous. I'm going to set this to the side over here. Let's take a look at these again. Yeah, that shimmer, I can really see it on the bank paper. And let's see how it looks on here. Yep, it showed up now on the Tomoe River paper. Now that it's dry, I can really see that green shimmer. Not so much the pink, interestingly, but it's pretty good. All right. So let's look at the next ink. This one is the Ribbiting Pond, and it is a shading ink. So I am a huge fan of shading inks. I love the Sailor ink series that have the shading. And so this will most likely get a lot of use for me. I love writing with it. I love painting with it. So let's see what this says. This one also has a gorgeous box design. We have a frog with a crown on its head sitting in a beautiful pond with a bridge in the background. And you can see, oh, that's interesting. There's a reflection in the pond, maybe of a castle. Really beautiful. So much detail in these boxes. And this ink says it has a light blue base, no sheen, a green and pink shimmer, and high shading. And that says the same as it did on the previous box. And let's read the little story. It says, transformation awaits. Peer through the murky, muddled depths to find the truth within your fantasies. What you see is not always what you get, and if you can dream it, you can reach it. Though the way may be misty and uncertain, your destiny will surely reveal itself in time. I love that. And I love that there's a little dandelion on the side there. Very, very cool. All right, let's open this one up. The same globe design. Oop, I have purple ink all over my fingers. So another little glass globe bottle with the same star design. And you can really see the shimmer in the bottom of that bottle. Look at that. TRP is the Ribbiting Pond. And let's gently shake this. Very gently shake this. Let's see. And for this ink, I am using another Benu pen. This is the, let's see, which one is this? This one is the Ice and Snow pen from Goldspot. It was an exclusive pen, and I loved it immediately because there's these stars embedded into the design. And so that needed to be on my wish list. This was a Christmas gift from my son and my husband. So I very much love this pen. And it has a medium nib on it. All right, so let's open this up. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so much shimmer at the bottom of this one. I really have to shake it to get it incorporated. It really is gorgeous just in the bottle itself. There we are. Inky nib. Again, wiping it off so I don't get it on my fingers like I did with the purple. Okay. For this one, I will do a brush just so I can see what that looks like. A thicker line here. Again, it settles so quickly. Gently shake it up. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very pale. Let's see if I can get a little bit more ink on there. There we go. Beautiful. Set that there. And let's see what this writes like. I'm gonna gently, not shake this, just tilt this a few times to make sure the shimmer doesn't get stuck in the carriage down there and the cartridge. All right, let's do my little designs. All right, so right away, I was a little nervous that it would be a very pale ink, and I'm really happy to report that it is actually really lovely, not as translucent as it looks like through the brushwork here. So that is really lovely. I'm enjoying this already. This says Ferris Wheel Press. The Ribbiting Pond. That is gorgeous. Oh, I love that. All right, that is wonderful. I really like the way that it shades from a very pale blue to the more teal colored blue. And you can already see the shimmer right over here in my ink swatch here. And it's still drying because I did kind of load that up. So I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry on this page. And sorry, my dog just came over to visit me. And let's see, I'm going to set this to the side. And let's try this out on the bank paper. Once again, shake it up. Look at how much it's settled in just that short amount of time. I'm going to do the ink card at the same time here. Let's do the swatch card first. Oh, that's beautiful. This is definitely an ink that I would happily paint with. It just moves beautifully on the paper. All right, let that dry. And let's do this. I don't know how I did that. Oops. Well, that'll look beautiful on here too. So I'm noticing that this is a medium tip and it seems to be getting a little stuck, which is not great, but hopefully with just a little bit of use, it won't be so bad here. There we go. Let's compare these two. I'm seeing a lot more sheen on the bank paper than on the Tomoe River paper, but it's still pretty darn good. There's a close-up of the Ribbiting Pond. I am seeing more of the shading on the Tomoe River paper. That's gorgeous. I'm going to set these aside. My ink swatch card. There we are. I'll hold these two up to see, to show them. You can really see the shimmer on the Bristol. Not quite so much the shading on that one. All right, so there we are. And on this one, I'm going to turn the page very gently to see if there was any bleeding of the Ribbiting Pond on the other side. Yep, there is. So these two inks I'll have to be careful with if I want to use them in my Hobonichi. But overall, I'm really happy with how those look. And I am definitely going to be using them for my letter writing because that just looks so beautiful. Thank you so much for watching today. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and please check out my other videos if you would like to see more. Thank you so much.